my parents' generation remember her firsthand. I was only 5 when she died, so I didn't really grow up with like the first-hand memory of her. I remember her funeral being on TV. It's just so surreal still to this day to think this woman who was so alive in so many ways and touched so many people is no longer here. I think it's a sad day for everyone. She's missed out on her boys' adult lives, but I think she'd be really happy to see that in their own ways they're finding kind of senses of normalcy, and there's definitely Diana's legacy lives on through them. You can even see in the way she was a personable person and she was very tactile, and I think her boys definitely inherited that. She'd probably quite like the fact Harry lives in America because she loved coming to visit the States. She'd definitely understand where they were coming from in terms of transporting their life over to the States and this quest for more privacy and also carving out their own paths and not just taking the route of the establishment and the institution. Diana was a really strong person. My interest in Diana started in 2018. I was going through my own marriage breakup and I was pretty young, I was 25. I came across the documentary of Diana and just felt really connected to her in so many ways, which in and of itself I found quite interesting because she should be this person who's the least relatable person in the world, but I found her to be super relatable. The book celebrates Diana's tongue-in-cheek sense of humour. So ultimately it's a very feminist retelling of her story that kind of shows more her side of the story rather than all these new renderings of Diana like from Spencer and The Crown really played on the mental illness factor and the fact she had an eating disorder, and I think they made her look overly fragile. This is kind of a celebration of Diana that shows all of her strengths and hopefully inspires women. She's still relevant and she's still having such an effect, and she was very ahead of her time. What's really sad is if you think if she were alive today, she's made totally for this generation. All of us can find something of ourselves in her, whether it's something from, you know, her amazing wardrobe through the years that shifted so much through many of the trials and tribulations of being a woman. She was fighting to dictate her narrative or have a voice among this sea of very controlling men and actually a very male establishment. She didn't have to do all the things she did. She took it a step over because she wanted to. She got slap wrists a lot of the time because the palace weren't happy when she hugged an AIDS victim. She went to homeless encampments in the middle of the night to talk to people, and I just think she was such a human person that it was just so refreshing to see, and it still is.